And I'm Belief Mel.
And we're here with episode 219 of
How Married Are You? Okay, my name Belief. This is Yvette. We married 13 years. Live in California. We got four kids. Relationships scary. It's very necessary. We share our love, our struggles. We ask how married are you? Every Tuesday and Thursday, shawty. If you're listening, you're in the wedding party. It's okay if you want to put your hands up. Got the questions. We got the answers.
It's chocolate baby story time.
Chocolate baby story time.
It's chocolate baby story time.
1, 2, 3, and
it's chocolate baby story time.
This morning, we were getting the kids ready for school, enrichment program, and man, it was hilarious. Uzi comes out with his collars up, his collar up on his shirt, and I'm like, "What's going on?" Like that, and then he was like, "I like it like this." So I'm getting the whole thing together and, whatever, helping where I can. And Uzi is feeling himself. He's got a fresh haircut. Yesterday he was on stage. I have so many different things to say about chocolate babies. But yesterday he was on stage. And then he's like ready to go. And then for some reason I was lotioning his face. And then I made a mistake and put his collars back down. Mm-hmm. And then Ryan came over and was like, "I used to wear my shirt like this. I can help you." And then he put his collars back up.
He lifted the collars
up? For him and helped him fix it. That was a really cool moment in fatherhood for sure.
Mm-hmm. How about our kids like having little evening powwows in the middle of the like before bedtime? So usually the kids during bedtime, they brush their teeth, get ready for bed, and then Theo and Raya go off to their room, and Anaya and Uzi go off to their room. Sometimes Raya Bo will kind of linger in Anaya and Uzi's room or whatever. But for a couple of nights this past week, I found my children in the room, in Theo and Raya's room, all together. And the door is closed. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I eavesdropped a little bit, and they was kind of gossiping. They had that sibling gossip going on. And I opened the door. They stopped talking immediately. Uzi gets out of, I was like, "What are y'all doing?" And they're like, "Talking." Uzi gets out of bed and tries to shut the door on me. But instead of shutting the door, he opens it back up, or he starts to shut the door, then he opens it back up, gives me a hug because I think he felt bad, and then he went back in his room. And he went back in the room with the kids and closed the door. But I feel like it's like one of those culminating moments in your parenthood journey where you're like, "Oh, we did that."
Mm-hmm. We're doing a great job. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love that they are bonding in that way, because I think that is something as a mom, especially as like a stay-at-home homeschooling mom, when you're with them all the time and you see a lot of the bickering and the different things that get to go on, and you're like, ugh. And then you see sometimes two siblings connecting better than others, or vice versa, or whatever. But it was just nice to see them all connecting together. I loved it.
Yeah. Awesome. That's awesome. So, man, we are super excited to have you here. Since you're here and you're listening, and we're so consistent, make sure that you like the video. If you're watching on YouTube, you comment, share it with someone who you feel like is going to benefit from this. I don't know what this next email is about, but I know it's going to be wild, I think. But people who share our point of view, share our perspective, who need to be encouraged in relationships and know that there are good relationships out there. They just take hard work, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what we exist for, to kind of show you that. Also, you can leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps out. We are in this for the long haul. We are committed to helping people understand the beauty and the truth in marriage. And we've been working at this for a long time. And so we've had events and we've had things that happened in the past, but we really love connecting with our community. And there's a really good opportunity for mothers out there who need to be encouraged in this season to take a trip to Arizona right on Mother's Day, right on time. For Mother's Day, I know it's a lot of times where, moms usually get gifts and go out to dinner and ask for something really simple and small, just a little bit of appreciation. But let's not front like you don't need time off. Let's not front like the summers are busy because the kids are off and it's a lot of stuff going on. So before summer gets here, you can invest in your motherhood right now by going to YvetteHenry.com and signing up for the Mother's Retreat, the Unplugged Retreat, which is a Mother's Day retreat, right, from the 10th through the 13th. Now, something special about this. We also have a nonprofit, Belief in Good, and you can donate a mother to go.
Yeah.
Yes. And sometimes if you donate, your employer will also match your donation.
Yes.
So if you got somebody that you like, man, I know this mom really needs a break, or I need a break, or whatever situation is, like, talk to your people about that. Let's get some more these tickets sold and see you guys there in May. Really special, really important. Carefree, Arizona has a retreat center there called Savannah. And Yvette went there, and when she came back, the weight was lifted off her shoulders. She was able to, kind of be present more. And I think that's what we need, right? Is we need moments in our lives to give us a moment to just say, hey, I'm okay. I just needed a little bit of time. And it's not only that with ourselves, our marriages need that too. Yvette and I went on a little date the other night, which was very pleasant. Very pleasant. We haven't done that in a while. It's been really tough. But those type of moments in your life are really important. Now, I don't do that.
I was going to say, I'm hearing you. I hope you practice what you preach.
But I told you I have mental issues, and I've been working on my mental issues. No, seriously, I've been working on my mental issues.
You did say that just recently, just this weekend, just on date night. Was it date night?
Yeah, I'm doing better.
Yeah.
I'm excited to finally go somewhere when Yvette gets back from her Mother's Day retreat. I'm excited to go somewhere because I need to do more retreats and more resting. So I'm excited. So I'm saying that because I know from a stay-at-home dad's perspective, when I was doing that, and that was my main gig, right, with the two boys, I know how often you get emotionally exhausted and how it feels like you're going from one thing to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, and then you stay up late, and then you try to go to sleep, but you feel like you need a rest, so you watch TV and you fall asleep, and you never really get that good rest. And so take that time to get away. May 10th through the 13th. This time is for you. You will be with Yvette. It's only 25 people coming. There's a whole agenda, but you don't even have to follow the agenda. You can be restful, and you can go to meditation and spa and all that stuff. But it's there for you, and I know some of you guys need it, so that's just a call for you.
And I don't need to say nothing else. He said it all.
There you go.
But I would love for you guys to come. One thing I do want to add that is, if you do donate and you actually want to pay for a specific mother to go, let us know that so that we can make sure that that person gets registered and we get all their information.
Yeah, and this is, you know how I know this is going to be special? Because I'm giving up my birthday weekend for you guys. This is usually the time where I could do something special. I usually go out. I try to get away.
He does.
I try to leave the state and go by myself somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But Yvette's taking the time, and you guys.
They already know that. Yeah. If you've been around for a while, you already know how Glenn likes to celebrate his birthday.
Yeah, away. But you guys are getting my birthday treat, so you guys are getting away from my birthday. So.
We'll do something the week before, babe.
Let's get into this next email.
Hi. I first must say I hope my age doesn't make you uncomfortable with me watching the podcast. I only watch what I think is age appropriate for me.
What?
You'll see in a moment. Moving on to my message. Hello. I first wanted to say I am a frequent watcher of Belief in Fatherhood, and your videos have really helped me. I'm frequently in lives as well, so you may recognize my name. I'm not going to say it. This may seem weird, but even though I am only a teenager, I cannot help but wonder if there's any hope for marriage. Which, now I'm very curious. How many teenagers do we got watching this?
How long you been watching for?
I don't know, but she's been watching Belief in Fatherhood.
Oh, my friend.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I cannot help but wonder if there is any hope for marriage. I know I don't know much, of course. I'm still a teenager. But from everything I've experienced, I don't know if I even want to give it a try. For background, I am 15. She's 15.
I thought she said she was 18.
No, she said she's a teenager, only a teenager. But currently I am 15, living with my mom who has stage 4 metastatic breast cancer.
Oh, my goodness.
My sister, who my mother had, whilst pregnant with breast cancer, and my stepdad. Okay. My stepdad has always had anger issues, but ever since my mom got cancer, they have become more intense. It feels like he hovers over me on everything I do, and if I don't do it his way, which I rarely ever do, I get yelled at. This is very inconvenient considering I don't even have control of my emotions. On top of being a teenager, I have high-functioning autism, which may be part of the reason I am trying to analyze this so hard. My stepdad seems to get very irritated when my mom doesn't have it together, but he also seems to be holding in his stress from having a partner with cancer. This 15-year-old is very aware and whatever. My mom is not entirely available. None of us go outside much besides for school or to work, in comparison to other families at least. And since she is so tired from her meds, I never want to confront her about things my stepdad has done to really irk me. When I overhear them argue, most of the things my stepdad has to say are problems he has with me. I have never been the type of person to keep things in. If you make me upset, you will know. I always bring these up in a respectful way, more so as a question than anything, to figure out if I could fix my behavior or help him more. But he gets defensive and tells me I shouldn't be talking back because I don't pay any bills. Fair, but I wasn't talking back. But I just ask a lot of questions, and my mind can spiral. This may seem very rambly, but it all comes together. Before this, my mom and my biological dad were together. My biological dad has his own traumas, which manifested through narcissistic behaviors. And the only reason they really got married was because they were in wedlock. What's wedlock?
I have no idea.
Okay. And this made me, I feel like wedlock is when you're married, right? And this made me wonder if I am the reason my mom had to endure this trauma just because I was conceived. Oh, is it like when you're pregnant? Maybe because she was pregnant with her. Maybe that's what she's saying. As much as I know this is a far stretch, I also know she would never tell me if that was truth or not. Overall, when I think of others' marriages, I always think of me ruining theirs. What? Overall, when I think of others' marriage, I always think of me ruining theirs. I want to know, I see. I want to know what you guys think. I am probably overanalyzing this. Love you guys.
Wedlock is a noun. It means marriage.
Yeah, I know that's what I thought. I think she means she got pregnant while they were dating, and then they had to get married, or they got married because of that. First of all, thank you for writing in.
Yeah, shout out to the youth.
Yeah, shout out to the youth. I don't know if every episode is appropriate for you, so I really do hope you are using discretion when listening.
We're pretty appropriate.
I think we're fine.
Yeah. For
the most part.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if we said anything I wouldn't want my children to hear.
I've said a lot of things I don't want my children to hear. To them.
It sounds like you are dealing with a lot to go from a biological father who is narcissistic to having your mother diagnosed with cancer to being in a family with a stepdad who seems to have anger issues.
And a sister that has
cancer. And a
cancer.
little sister. No, she doesn't have cancer.
I thought you said...
No.
My sister, whom my mom had with... Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's saying this is who she lives with. So she's living with her mom, her stepdad, and her little sister.
Okay, wow, okay.
Yeah. And so the title of the email was... Oh, no. This is a different email, sorry. Yeah. So I guess the question is... What's the question?
She just doesn't...
Oh, she doesn't know if she should even plan for marriage. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, for me, what I would say is what we see doesn't always have to be what becomes our experience or what becomes true for ourselves. Just because you have experienced marriage in the way that you've experienced with your biological father and your stepfather does not mean that you will end up in a marriage like that.
You ain't got to be what you had.
You ain't got to be what you had. I feel like the level of awareness that you have as a 15-year-old, the intentionality that you have of watching this podcast, listening to this podcast.
Yeah, you're already ahead of the game.
You are already way further along than a lot of young people who are on the path to get married. I know that it can be so discouraging. Like there's so much of circumstances in life that can be discouraging. I'm not going to share that actually. And so I don't know. I would love to encourage you that there are good men out there. You sound like you are a good young lady. You sound like you are someone who's very intentional about asking questions. I think it's interesting because you said you have high functioning autism. And I think that we're all differently wired. We're all wired differently. And some of us are identified as autistic or on the spectrum or whatever. But I truly do believe that we are all on the spectrum in some form or fashion. And I don't think that that places any limitations on who you are. And I think that it actually, because you are someone who likes to ask questions and challenge things, I think you can carry that into your future relationship and to your future dating experience. When you meet these men, you know what you do not want. And I think as time will come along, you will also figure out the things that you do want, what you do want to experience, how you want to be loved. And so I just want to give you hope there that you do not have to have, or how did you put it, babe?
You ain't got to be what you had.
You ain't got to be what you had. So.
Yeah, I also want to say too, man, here's something that's really crazy, right? First things first, like the answer is equipping yourself with tools that are going to give you the ability to to know more about what you're getting yourself into, right? So I'm not saying that marrying your mom, being with your father or your stepfather were bad decisions or they made bad choices. Because I don't know the circumstances surrounding why they got together or whatever. Well, I guess I do know some of the circumstances. But when you plan your life in the way that you want it to go, at least have a plan, then you will make rules for yourself that you can follow. Hence why we created the Premarital Advantage, which is our e-course that just has you walk through your relationship asking really good questions so that you know you're making a sound decision. Love isn't enough of a reason to get married. Like, it's just not. Like, love is not enough. Money is not enough. Like, being attractive is not enough, right? You want to be with someone who makes wise decisions, who is a good decision maker, who works hard. There's so many different things you want to take in consideration when you are deciding who you want to be with for the rest of your life. But with all that being said, we don't always... we don't end up with who we married, okay? So your mom and your stepdad are together, okay? They got together before she had cancer. He was probably planning on being a good husband and a good father because he thought he could lift the weight. And I'm not giving this man any excuses, right? Because I understand what it's like to be a child, 15 years old, and like being like, I'm not being treated right. This is not how I wouldn't choose this for my enemy. You know, I deserve better than this. And so when you get into that situation where you're like, oh my gosh, I might have to fight for my rights or liberate myself because I'm so frustrated. It makes me, for example, I never wanted to be a father. Like, I never wanted to be a father because of my experience as a child. And being a child told me that I was to only speak when I was spoken to, that I wasn't to, talk back, talk out of turn, that I had to do things in order to make my parent look a certain way. it was performative. I didn't feel free to dream. If life sucked, like though I definitely was given opportunities and I was able to do things that, you know, were great, and I had a lot of stuff. I didn't feel my full humanity was accepted. And if your experience is that, it makes everything about your life dim. But what happened was I got proof of a different opportunity in a different life that, hey, man, this doesn't have to be as bad as I thought it was, you know. But when you're growing up in poverty and, you know, in a single parent home and you're just trying to make it, like, it's a different life. It's a different life. And I know that's not your situation, but technically your primary parent is out for the count right now. Mm-hmm. She cannot be of assistance. And so the person that is in your life does not have the ability, capacity, or wherewithal to understand how to be available for you, because everything is a burden. The cancer's a burden. The situation he's in is a burden. And you probably are burdened too. You know what I'm saying? Just being honest. But you're not wrong, you know? And I think that's the hard part about being a teenager. And like, I remember that, man. I'm like, I'm not wrong here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys got me effed up. Like, this is a bad situation and I should not have to apologize. This is crazy. You guys are smoking. You guys are on something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I also want to say something else. I think sometimes when we are the child, we find ourselves in a position where we want to protect our parents, where we don't want to bring up things that are bothering us because we have some level of awareness or attunement to what they're dealing with and what's going on in their lives. And I do believe, though, I know your mom has a lot on her plate and she is dealing with cancer. She's trying to navigate motherhood, being a wife, all the things, I'm sure. There's more than I could even list.
Yeah.
And you are aware of that. However, I would encourage you to have a conversation with your mom, because you may be surprised at how she is able to show up for you and how she desires to show up for you in the midst of your in navigating your relationship with your stepfather. Mm. I would like to believe that your mom wants to know what you're dealing with. And even if it's just an open and honest conversation that the both of you get to have, and your mom may not share all the things that she's dealing with you or whatever, but I would just caution you to not so much feel like you have to take care of her. You can drink your water. Mm. Glenn got a hydro spark, y'all. And yeah, I feel like I felt led to say that because I think that a lot of us sometimes try to spare people we're in relationship with. We try to spare their feelings. We try to spare whatever. We don't know, however, what they have capacity for. And so I do believe that there is discernment, but you as a child, especially a 15-year-old child, I do believe that you are well within your rights and responsibility to share with your mom what you're feeling and what you are experiencing, and allow her to maybe pour into you, encourage you, or have a conversation with your stepdad or mediate a conversation between the both of you.
Yeah. And I want to say too, like, you know, man, it's so difficult, man. I remember that stage. It was so hard to be heard. Because I'm kind of like, man, you can't talk to me like that no more. Like, I'm the same size as you. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Like, though, like, I am your child, like, I still, like, the more you talk to me like that, the less you're going to see me in the future. Like, I'm never coming back. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't need, like, you don't even understand. They don't even understand what they're sowing into, you know, because they think that for some reason sometimes, like, the respect going that way is bigger, is more important. Like, respect for you, from you toward them is more important then vice versa. And it does change at some point where you're kind of like, you're not just giving them information. Like, I'm not just giving the children information. I'm giving them a platform for a voice to say, hey, I will listen to you. I listen to you now. I will listen to you later. Now, everything you're saying ain't making sense. And everything you're saying is my top priority, but I'm still hearing you out. And so right now, I know that you're probably trying to figure out whether or not you should be fighting for your voice or fighting for your peace, you know? And I think that that's only something that you can, that's only something that you can navigate. Like and I think it would be best, here we go again, best to navigate that with a therapist, because you're not crazy. You know, you're not crazy. You're not wrong. And this has less to do with, I don't even want to be married in the future, to like, how will I accept to be treated? You know what I'm saying?
That's the
like,
question, yeah.
How am I?
Yeah.
How am I going to be treated? Am I going to allow people to treat me this way? Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to allow people to treat me like this because this is how I want to be treated. This is what I deserve. So if we know that, if this is what you deserve, then let's act like this is what you deserve and say, okay, it stops here, right? That's when you say, you know, I'm not protecting my peace, but I'm protecting my voice because my voice is valuable. I started to protect my voice, and I was standing up for myself, and I realized, I was like, I'm never coming back here. So you can say whatever you want. Our relationship is done when I'm gone. And that was a harder bridge to cross in the future, because then even after I protected my peace, I still had to advocate for my voice later on. So you're going to have to fight for your voice either way. I'm dropping bars right now. Can we get some fire emojis? Because I didn't even know I was going to say none of this, right? This is the Lord speaking through me. Can we get fire emojis for God right now speaking through me? Holy Spirit, hallelujah. Because that's something I didn't even think about.
Yeah.
You're either fighting for your voice or your peace. You know what I'm saying? And so as a child, I think you have to really navigate which one is more important. Your voice, you're always going to have to fight for that. You're always going to have to be in situations where you're kind of like, yo, you're not hearing me. This is what I mean. This is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And even in our marriage, we both had to fight for our voice, you know? So let's not cast off marriage or cast off all types of relationships just because you're having adversity right now, okay? Let's use this as a learning opportunity for you to speak up for yourself, for you to learn your own internal voice and what's necessary to say, and then we'll cross those other bridges when we get to it.
Come to How Married Are You Live in about 5 years.
Yeah. I think it's short and sweet, babe.
All right. How married are you?
Oh, I'm so married I got the clothes out of the dryer this morning. But this morning I saw that you were washing clothes, and I was like, oh, I'll go get the clothes. And you said you were going to do it, and you didn't do it. So that was good. I did it. You forgot.
Oh, my goodness.
How married are you?
I'm so married that you made it such an urgent thing that your Hydro Spark water bottle gets set up immediately. And I stopped everything I was doing.
Scrolling.
To set it up.
To do me a favor?
I'm not wearing my ring today. To set up your Hydro Flask.
Hydro Spark.
Hydro Spark. But, babe, it's not...
Hydrate Spark.
Well, you better put an affiliate link in the thing if you're going to be...
Yeah, man. Y'all got to get one of these, man. These things got me on it.
What was I saying? Whatever. And that's just how married we are.